Today we'll take literature, unit 4, chapter 16. Do you remember what is this chapter about, girls? Hello? Hello, Grace. Do you remember what was this chapter about?
Yes, race in the bus.
About what?
The racism that happened in the bus and the boycott that they did.
Excellent. Segregation in bus. What happened in the bus? What happened there? Gretchen, what happened in the bus?
Can I say that?
Yes, please say.
Rosa Parks was an elegant black lady that wanted to go home, so she was so tired. She entered the bus and sat on one of the reserved seats, and a white man came. He wanted to sit, so the bus rider told her to get off the seat. She refused. She just remained in her place, and as a result, the police came and took her with them.
Yes. And then?
And then her...
Okay, thank you, dear. Thank you, Lujane, so much. After Rosa Parks was arrested and in jail, girls, what happened?
People, they remained silent. They acted like nothing happened, but her friend and the lawyer, they tried to make a move. So they made like the boycott, and they wanted give the black people those lists about to not ride the buses on her the date of her court.
Yes, she asked for a bus boycott.
Yes, so
yes, with
they
the
did
help
that.
of her friend who was a lawyer and other colleagues. What did they do exactly?
They didn't ride the buses at the day of or the date of the court, I guess.
Yes, they didn't ride the bus, or what did they do exactly in order not to ride the bus?
They sent some
leaflets,
yes,
distributed leaflets around the city, around the state, in order not to, in order to ask people not to do what?
ride the buses.
Yes, not to ride the bus. It was supposed to be only for how many days? Najwa, it was supposed to be for how many days, Najwa?
Yes, Miss. I actually don't remember exactly.
Okay, who remembers?
I don't know, but it lasted for 381
Yes,
days.
but it was supposed to be for how many days?
I don't know.
Just the day of the trial.
Excellent, Yarima. Just the day of the trial. Only one day of the trial. Okay? But what happened? What happened instead?
It lasted for a year.
Yes, it lasts for almost a year. More than a year. Right?
Yeah, more than.
And then what happened?
Finally, they had their rights.
Yes, finally, they had the rights. Who signed the civil rights? Check in your book if you don't remember. Who signed the civil rights bill? Who signed it, girls? It was in the second read.
Johnson?
Yes, President Johnson. So, do you remember who was President Johnson? Do you remember, girls?
He was.
He came after the assassination of J.F. Kennedy.
Excellent. He was the president who came after they assassinated President John F. Kennedy. He signed it. Okay, this agreement of or the bill of the civil rights for colored people. Okay, let's. I'll share for you here. So it was in the third read. Previous time we took the third read. Previous time we started it. but we haven't finished it. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, so as we said, the bus boycott in Montgomery happened after Rosa Parks was arrested for not leaving her seat to a white man. And after she was beaten and arrested, her friend Jo Anison and by the help of her friends, they distributed leaflets to ask people not to ride the bus for only one day, the day of her trial. But actually what happened, they stopped riding the bus for almost a year, and then came out the bill of the civil rights. John F. Kennedy decided to sign it. This is John F. Kennedy. He wanted to it. He prepared it, but he was killed. Okay, before he assigns it. Okay, and then came President Johnson. President Johnson was the 36th president, and he signed it. And this was where they signed the bill. And this was the minute of signing the bill. And here stands white men and black men together. Okay. We answered these questions. Let's revise them. Okay, who can answer question number 1, girls, please?
Can I?
Yes, please.
What words or phrases does Johnson repeat in his speech? Choose one example and analyze the importance of this word or phrase.
Johnson repeated words or phrase in his speech. What was it?
We have in line 17, but it can't continue. Our constitution, the foundation of our republic forbids it. The principles of our freedom forbids it. Morality forbids it, and the law that I will sign tonight forbids it.
Excellent.
He kept on repeating.
Yes.
He kept on repeating the word forbids it to show that he's insisting on the meaning that discrimination must be forbidden. No, like the Constitution and the principles and everything forbids it, but it's still like
yes, excellent. Read it, please.
Choices may include every race and color we believe forbids it. It does or it does not.
Okay, excellent. Question number 2. Who can answer, please?
Can I?
Yes, please.
They were trying to tell him like to stop racism.
Yes, to stop racism. Read it, Fatima.
He was trying to persuade all Americans to support equality for African Americans.
Yes. Question number 3. Who can answer it? Grade 10. Who can answer question 3?
Can I?
Yes, please.
It's pathos because it appeals to the emotion.
Excellent, excellent. Kadra, right?
Yes.
Yes. Then we said we will focus on evaluating arguments. The claim is a statement a writer is trying to prove is true. This is the main claim or the central claim of his argument. Okay. We said we stopped here, right? We're not, girls? Or we've continued? No, we continued. So how can he support his claim? For example, for the speech that Johnson, we had 2 arguments in this chapter. We have the letter, the leaflet, to ask people to stop riding the bus. And the second argument was what the speech said by Johnson in the day, on the day of signing the Civil Rights Bill. How can he convince people? How did Johnson convince people, and how did Jo Anison convinced people? How? You should have reasons which will offer a logical explanation for why this claim is true. So you should have reasons why this claim is true. Why the proposed solution would be effective? Why? Yani why, for example, in the leaflet, why stop riding the bus will be effective? You have to show. Or why an action is worth taking, because it might happen. Is that it happened before and it may happen to others. It may happen to your sister or your daughter. Facts and evidence that are used to support reasons that this has happened before to two women or a woman and a girl. Example including quotations from excerpts, statistics, or scientific data. This is logos, and then we have the pathos, the emotions. Logos, logical appeal. Emotional pleas to motivate or manipulate the audience to agree with the speaker is the pathos. Okay, and then we answered this of Joanne Robinson. Joanne Robinson is Rosa Parks' friend, the head of the women counselor in the NAA in CAAP or NC, I forgot it, or what? NAACP, right, Bruce? What is the organization? NAACP? Yes, NAACP. Hello? What is NAACP, girls? It's on page 367. What is NAACP? Lana, what is NAACP, please? Hello? Girls, do you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Yes.
What is NAACP?
Can I say this?
Yes, please.
National Association for Advancement of Colored People, a civil rights organization.
Yes, the Civil Rights Organization for Colored People. Say the abbreviation for it again, the full term for this abbreviation.
National NAACP.
Yes.
The
Yes. National
Association for the Advancement of Colored People.
Yes. So here, girls, what central claim does Robinson make in the leaflet she distributed? What was her central claim? So Lana's not here. Ragad?
No, but I'm here. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Okay. Lana, what is the central claim, Lana, that was said in the leaflet? Central claim means what did she want in the leaflet, Lana?
Miss, you mean
What does she want? Yes, what does she want? In her leaflet, the leaflet that she distributed on people in the street. What did she want people to do or not to do? She distributed.
She wanted the Negroes to have rights.
Yes, by what? Because Rosa Parks was put into jail. She wanted them to do something. What was that thing?
Is it the 3/4 of the rights?
Hmm?
When she said that 3/4 of the rights are Negroes.
Yes, dear. How? What was written in the leaflet that she distributed on people in the street? They should stop doing what? Stop writing what? They should stop writing what?
Miss, that script.
The bus.
Discrimination on buses.
Bus, Yalana. They should stop riding the bus, Yalana.
Yes, okay.
Yes. So read it, please.
Robinson claims that discrimination on buses must be stopped.
Yes. Jude, how does she support her claim, Jude? She gave reasons or facts or quotations or tell me, how did she do that? Yes.
When she said Negroes have rights.
What else?
3/4 of the riders are Negroes, and if nothing is done to stop the arrests, they will continue.
Yes. Yes, can you read it please, Jude?
Robinson uses facts to support her claim, including Negroes have rights. 3/4 of the riders are Negroes, and if nothing is done to stop the arrests, they will continue.
Yes. So where does Robinson appeal to emotion? So here, when she gave reasons, facts, quotations, she gave examples. This is logos. When did she appeal to emotions? When did she use the pathos? Malak Wasim? Malak?
Yes, miss.
When did she use the pathos, dear?
In the she used the facts and the reasons to support her claim, and the
Pathos
daughter.
is feeling, yani when you refer to feeling.
And when she used the daughter mother.
Yes, yes. Read it.
The next time it may be you or your daughter or mother.
Yes. 1 minute, girls. I want to check the attendance. Okay. We back here. So read it, please. Jude said that how did she use facts or quotation to support? And she said Negroes have rights. 3/4 of the riders are Negroes. And how did she use the pathos or to play on emotion part or appeal to emotion? Malak said the next time it may be you or daughter or mother. Then we come to Jonathan. What was the central speech or central claim, for his speech? Asma. What was the central claim for him, dear?
Yes, miss. He wants the discrimination against the African Americans to be stopped.
Excellent. You read it.
Johnson's central claim is that the discrimination against African Americans must stop.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Asma. Ghada, how does he support his claim? By reasons, facts? Ghada, are you here? Kadra?
Yes.
How did he support his claim? Reasons or facts or quotation?
Just a second. Maybe facts, because he said that like they participated in wars in this, so like they're equal.
Yes. Yes, excellent. Here.
Should I read or?
Yes, when he talked about the Constitution, which is the foundation, and when he talked about that they sacrificed their lives in battles. Read it, ya Kadra.
Johnson's give reasons. The first is the Constitution. Our Constitution, the foundation of our republic, forbids it. The principle of our freedom forbids it. The second reason is the majority of Americans believe that the law must protect racial equality. It has received the thought support of tens of thousands of civic and religious leaders in all parts of this nation, and it's supported by the great majority of the American people. This is important because in a democratic republic, laws must be approved by majority.
Yes. Where does Johnson appeal to emotions? Najwa?
Yes, Miss.
How did he appeal to emotions, dear? How did he use emotion? When he gave reasons, when he gave facts, when he gave examples, he said that our constitution refuses it. Morals refuses it. Okay? And the majority of African American or majority of Americans believe that the law must protect racial equality. So these are laws, these are examples because it's written in the law. Okay, there was a point that Kadra said, but it doesn't appeal to logos, it appeals to paths. What was it?
Maybe that when they like fight in wars or battles for us.
Read it, dear.
The mention of African Americans dying for their country appeals to emotion. Also, there are many words with emotional connotation, glittering generalities. American of every race and color have died in battle to protect our freedom.
Yes, American of every race and color have died in battle, so they are all equal in dying in battles. Both colors die in battles, so why would we discriminate the white from the black? Continue.
The unending search for justice and only limit to a man's hope for happiness and for the future of his children shall be his own abilities.
Yes. Now, here, where did we stop previous time? Bilqis? Bayan? Buthayna?
Yes, Miss.
Read it, please, Buthayna.
Okay, Miss. An argument including a claim and the evidence used to support the claim. However, all arguments are not. What, Miss? Claim. However, all arguments are not equal. Some are better supported than others. Some are more logical than others. When evaluating an argument, it's not enough to say it's good or bad. It is very easy to judge an argument based upon whether you agree with it. But instead, you must evaluate the part of the argument based on identifiable.
Yes, identifiable.
Criteria. One method of evaluating argument is
FELT. So what are we going to do? We are going to evaluate the argument. So if we want to support it, we agree with it, okay? So it is not enough to say it is a good argument or it's a bad one. No, we have to evaluate it up to criteria, which is called FELT. What is FELT? What does it refer to? It refers to fairness, evidence, logic, and tone. Here, fairness, evidence. Let me make it. Yes. Fairness, evidence, logic, and tone. Dalia? Thank you, Buthayna. Dalia?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Dalia, please read. What is fairness?
Fairness is the argument fair and balanced, or does it contain the base can be detected by asking the following questions. Is the argument overly emotional and filled with loaded language? Using an only emotional please makes an argument weak. Is the argument one-sided? Are there alternative points of view not addressed?
Okay, fairness. What is fairness in the argument? What is the meaning of fairness? Fairness, is the argument fair or not? Is it a fair argument or it is bias? Bias is when we have two sides for the argument. Bias is when I am on a side of it. I take this side. So does it contain bias? And bias can be detected by asking the following question. I can understand this is a biased argument by asking myself these following questions. Is the argument overly emotional? Is it emotional? Is the argument emotional? So does it only talk to the emotional feel or the feelings of the audience or the listeners? Or is it filled with loaded language? What is loaded language? When I come to you and I say to you about the horrible discrimination of the blacks, horrible discrimination. Horrible is a loaded word. Why? Because itself means that I am against it. I am against discrimination. So when I say horrible, I am showing you that I am against it, and it is a loaded word. It's like I am insulting the other side of the discrimination. So this is a loaded word language. Like when we say we want to reach the marvelous shore of the justice. We want to reach marvelous shore of justice. The marvelous shore. So marvelous is a loaded word. Why? Because I say that justice is marvelous. So here it is loaded language. Of course, here I'm just giving you an example because yes, justice is marvelous. Yes, and discrimination is awful. Okay, but here I'm showing you what is loaded language. For example, if you are talking about raising a cat. So you mentioned that there are people who told their horrible experiments of raising a cat or having a cat as a pet in their home. So this is a loaded language that I show with words that this is better than this side is better than this is loaded. So when the speech is over emotional and filled with loaded language, here it is not fair. It is not fair argument. Okay, using only emotional please makes the argument weak. I just can't. This is, girls, the logos, pathos, and ethos are the 3 points of persuading. Logos is when you talk to the mind, you have to give him facts, reasons. Pathos, when you talk to the heart, you give words that touch his heart. Okay, so here is the argument one-sided. Are there alternatives? Points of view not addressed? Are there alternative points of view or not addressed? Didn't he mention the opposing point? Didn't he mention the opposing point? So fairness is when I have a balanced argument. Okay, fairness is when I have a balanced argument. Are you with me, girls? Dareen, read evidence, Dareen.
Yes, miss. Is there a sufficient evidence to be convincing, or is limited evidence given? Is the evidence valid? Does it support the claim? The evaluate personal experience? Ask, is this relevant? Is this based? To evaluate examples? Ask, are sufficient examples given? Are the examples given important enough to be valid, such as examples from history? To evaluate data or statics? Ask, are statics interpreted correctly, or are they misinterpreted or manipulated to support the author's opinion?
Okay, so here evidence. Evidence, is there sufficient evidence to be convincing or is limited evidence giving? Does he give you evidence or not? Is the evidence valid? Does it support the claim? To evaluate personal experience, to evaluate the personal experience. Is this relevant? Is this biased? Is this relevant to the topic? Is this biased? Does it take a side, extremely takes the other side? To evaluate the examples, evaluate examples. Are the examples sufficient? Are the examples given important enough to be valid? Okay, like examples from history. Are they valid? Okay, so if you write an argument about something nowadays, a recent topic, so can you get a invalid story? Okay, something happened in the past. To evaluate data or statistics, so the statistics interpreted are correctly used or not? Misinterpreted, interpreted, it means handled. Or manipulated to support the author's opinion. Manipulated, it means that he has used it his way to support the side. Okay? Fairness and the evidence. Fairness is the argument is biased. Is not biased, sorry, is balanced. The argument is balanced that he presents for the two sides. He talks about the counterclaim. Number two, the evidence. The evidence, the logic evidence, relevant, which is related to the topic, and valid, recent, relevant and valid. We'll stop here, girls. We go. We catch you in 5 minutes in the second period. Okay? Don't be late.
Yes.
Okay.